Welcome to Blockbuster Video. Blockbuster Video gives you over 10,000 videos to choose from in over 30 different categories. And with our new Blockbuster Movie Previews video, you can sample the excitement of up to 50 Blockbuster videos at a time, absolutely free. While viewing at home, just use the rental reminder card we've included with the Previews cassette to list the movies you want to rent and their categories. Keep it in your wallet next to your Blockbuster membership card. Then the next time you're at Blockbuster Video, the movies you've listed will be easy to remember and find. Just check the movies off as you rent them. It's Blockbuster Video's way of making it simple and convenient for you to be selective in choosing movies for your entire family. Now let Blockbuster Video sneak you into the movies.
Welcome to Chunkamania! Rowdy Roddy Piper eats chunky chili beef soup with a fork! Fork! Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, uses a spoon! Spoon! Let's find out who rules! New chunky chili beef with big chunks of beef. The soup that eats like a meal. Fork or spoon, it's awesome!
Waiting for you, make a night of it. The Live Stream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Good evening and welcome to The Good Stuff Live. My name is Dave Sundstrom, and if you enjoy talking about music, movies, mostly TV, well, you've come to the right place. And speaking of coming to the right place, guess who has come to the right place?
It's me, Ian C. from Retro Serial.
Yeah.
So glad you could be. I'm so glad you could be here.
I'm so glad I could be here as well, Ian.
I'm so glad that you allowed me to be with you on this podcast, on your live stream.
It's my pleasure. It is my pleasure to have you here. It's kind of strange trying to fit the two of us on this.
I know.
We got to snuggle up, which is
buddy. It's okay.
Yeah, which is a little bit different for us.
Bert and Ernie here.
Yep, exactly.
Are the two guys from the Muppets.
Well, this is awesome. It's such a treat. Tonight we're going to be talking about 80s TV shows, and in particular 80s television programs that debuted in the 80s. So there's a lot of shows that debuted in the 70s, just to nail it.
Yeah.
That I think, for example, Three's Company, just pulling a name of a show out of the top of my head, Three's Company debuted in 77.
Right, yeah.
And it actually did have, you pointed out as we were talking about, as we were looking at the comments, and Braidwood Inn, there were more seasons.
It had more time in the 80s.
Yeah, it did.
In the 70s. But I was saying that I still feel as though it's a 70s show.
Yeah.
When I think about it, I think of like the leisure suit and the bell bottoms and the gold chains and kind of thing.
Well, Mr. Furley, certainly.
Yeah, I kind of don't. I know that it had more time in the 80s, but it still seems to me like a 70s show. So.
Indeed. Lots of folks to get to say hi to. One quick question from Sarita Abney, who says, "Hey, Dave, are you growing a beard?" Nah, just lazy. Just not feeling like shaving right now, but I'll probably shave it in the next few days.
Right.
All right. So it is wonderful to have Ian here. We've had a kind of a fun day. He showed up about noon, went to lunch with my brother Steve.
Yeah, it was awesome. That
really was great. And went for a little bit of a hike, a small hike this afternoon. And then we're back here to talk about the good stuff. Let's say hello to folks. Let me start, and we'll do this. Try to do this in, I don't know, what do you think? 5-10 minutes, something like that. We'll try. Gary Carpenter, hello. Tom Lemery, welcome. Superfan Lance Chaffin. Our buddy Pat McCormick, who's also a super fan of the channel. Excuse me. You want to take a few of these, Ian?
Oh, to say them?
Yeah.
No.
Come on, man.
Not that one. That was the hardest one there was.
Rosalia Zurita.
I'm
welcome to the
I just
live
don't want to
stream.
mispronounce anybody's name, and I do have a reading problem. I am dyslexic. So
I'll leave you an easier one in just a second. Sean Innes, welcome. How about this one?
Dave Osmond. Dave Osmond. Glad you could be here with us.
Not Osmond, but Osmond. And awesome to have you here. Hey, we had a couple of super chats, and I'm hitting one right now. You can see I'm still fighting a cough, folks, but we'll soldier through it. Lance Chaffin dropped a super chat, I think yesterday, in anticipation. So thank you so much, Lance. And then before the live stream began today, Pat McCormick dropped a super chat into the chat, into the live stream as well, saying break a leg. Well, thank you so much, Pat. Pat, we sure hope you get feeling better soon, buddy. You know what? It's no darn fun being under the weather.
Right. No. When you get better, let me know, Pat. I'd love to come visit you as well. So.
Yeah. And speaking of Pat McCormick, and Pat won't be actually in the studio with the Hall of Nostalgia in the backdrop next time I do a live stream on this channel, but he will be on my next live stream on this channel.
Oh,
so
good.
2 weeks from tonight,
right on,
Pat McCormick will be my special guest, and we will be discussing, we'll be talking about Ronnie and Clint Howard.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Pat just finished up the book, The Boys, and I was, of course, given the book by superfan John Collins and enjoyed it after last Christmas.
Right.
During the holiday season, I spent a lot of time reading it. So we're gonna talk about the book, but I think we'll also talk maybe even more broadly about the careers of Ronnie Howard.
That sounds like a
Ron
great
Howard
topic.
and Clint Howard. All right. Who else is here? Superfan Superplex, Gary Carpenter, Tom Lemery, Lance Chaffin. I think I said hello to you. I did because of the super chat. Thanks again for that. You know what I haven't done? I haven't played a video. I got to play a thank you video.
Oh, yeah.
What do we got going here? Let's see.
Videos.
Well, it's from Pat. Pat's part of it. I can't do any Lawrence Wilk at this point because Pat would get it.
He's not a fan.
He's not a fan. It's like his kryptonite. It's his musical kryptonite.
Right.
So let's
personal
do
hell.
exactly. Let's do this.
Grazie, gracias, danke, merci, spasibo, sheshe, arigato gozaimasu.
And we'll top it off since it was both Lance and Pat.
Pure dynamite! Dynamite!
Awesome. It truly is dynamite. Thank you both for your
And Steve,
support.
too. Steve from Life and Sad Endings. Didn't he have a super chat?
I didn't see one from
Oh, I'm
Steve.
sorry. Maybe
I do see another one though here from Kenny the Wine Guy. Let me scroll through here. Maybe I want to make sure. I would hate to miss someone. Let's go over here.
I could have totally been wrong. I don't know what they look like from this end.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, you're right. Life and Sad Ending. That was actually, I said it was from Pat McCormick. It was from Steve Tevis. I gave Pat McCormick credit for a super chat.
Oh, it's okay. So you can play Lawrence Welk.
I can play Lawrence
If you
Welk.
want.
Maybe I should. You know what? I'm not going to, though. This one's just for you, Steve, because this is the way that I feel about you and your wonderful channel.
You are special.
Thanks so much, Steve, and I appreciate your support. Sorry about the mix up there. I did see another super chat pop in here. Let me get to that one really quick. Oh, so many comments, folks. I love it. I love the just the camaraderie that exists here on the channel. What was it?
It's the wine guy.
Yeah, it was a wine comment. There it is. Kenny the Wine Guy. Look at that. Thank you so much, Kenny. Truly appreciated. And this feels like a job for our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Someone is trying to embarrass me.
Thanks so much, Kenny. Truly appreciate your support. And here comes another super chat.
Right.
Boy, I'd like to say hello to everyone, but you know what? I'm going to acknowledge
chat.
the super chats from superfan Kevin Davis, who's always just such a great supporter of the channel. Thank you very much. I feel like I have to.
Yeah,
I just said it. I have to.
All right.
I'm going to.
Of course.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Thank you very, very, very much.
I was drumming on the table. It's like it picks up the drumming.
It picks up all sorts of things.
I bet mine does too. I have a bad habit
Probably.
of rapping on the table. So
thank you very much, Kevin. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Truly appreciate it. Yes, Tracy Roth Myers, the Welk. The Welk is, but you know what? We've worked our way through it. We've worked our way through it. Now,
look, it's
over.
Uphill. It's I mean, we can all move on.
We can move on. Yeah, exactly. So Thrash Pondo's here. He will be doing an after party.
Yes.
So folks, hang tight. We'll be providing a link to his channel as this live stream ends tonight. So hang tight, Lance, who's asking if Thrash is still doing an after show. He is, to my knowledge. Let's see who else is here. John Doe's here. Adrian James is here. Gary Carpenter's here. Danny Hooley's here. Superfan Superplex is here. Crominion is here. TJ921 Abel. Stardust Memories. Rachel in the 208. Keep looking. Fred Smithberg. Mike and Kathy. Sarita Abney. Mr. Led. Oh, it's just so great to have everybody here. And I could just probably say hello to people the entire night. People like superfan Emily Miller, who's
Yes. Hi, Emily.
here. Adrian James, who's here.
Danny Staten.
Danny Staten, who feels invisible. You won't later on, Danny. I have a special video that I will be playing, my friend. Jose Vidal Medina, who's here. But the problem is there are so many comments coming in right now.
Right.
It is really hard to catch up with. I don't want to make anyone feel invisible. But
when you got a channel the size of your channel, though, you just unfortunately you just can't get to everyone.
I just want everyone
Otherwise,
to feel
you
love.
would just have to read comments all day.
We could. That wouldn't be a lot of fun though for everyone.
And we love you all. I know he does, and I do too. So.
Perry is here. And who said, oh yeah, Pat McCormick said, you two look really good together. Thank you. Screenshot, folks. This is your time. That's right. There you go. We have another super chat. This one's a very nice one as well. This is coming from our friend, super fan Tracy Roth Myers, who says, you two are great together.
We're having a lot of fun.
We've had a great day. Yep, had a great day.
It's been a lot of fun. I had a good lunch with Steve, as you said. Took me to Crown Burger. I've never been to Crown Burger before. I ate a lot. I needed that hike afterwards because I ate so much.
It was a good hike. Was able to burn off a few calories. Not all of those calories, but a few calories.
Well, I had a huge shake.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to be burning those off anytime soon.
All right. Well, here, Tracy, thank you so much. Let's do a little Shatner and follow it up with some Steve Martin.
No, I thank you. And again, I thank you. And now, it's time for a little dance. And here we go.
Okay. I think I'm going to stop with the hellos, and we'll continue to say hello to folks like Raja 1938 as the conversation continues.
Okay.
Daryl Johnston's here. I'm sure he's been reminding folks to hit the like button, the thumbs up button.
Subscribe.
Thanks so much for everybody who's done that. But I want, let's talk a little bit about your channel.
Oh, yeah. But no.
Wait. We should. That's right.
Before we do, we got to talk about why I came up in the first place. Okay. So one of the reasons I came out was for my channel. I've got silver lining around a dark cloud. I've got a little bit more time now, time to travel. And I wanted to see some of my friends. I want to start with you, Dave. And the reason I want to start with you, Dave, is because you were the first one to say yes. No, but out of all the people, I contacted in the very beginning of my channel, you helped me. You helped me today. You made it so successful, and you're continuing to help. And I don't even know if you realized that you were going to be a leader in this community when you started this. Did you think people were going to call you our leader or whatever?
I still don't think of myself as a leader. What I think of myself is as a lucky feller who has a lot of great friends.
Yeah, well, a lot of people look up to you, and the reason and rightfully so, because you help us out. You help me out. I was a nobody channel just trying to get off the ground. You had 100 and something thousand followers. I thought, I'll just take a chance. Maybe he'll be on my show. He came on not only did he come on my show, he helped me set it up because I had no idea what I was doing. He was just like, here, you push this button this way and all this stuff. And we had a great conversation. We talked about Saturday morning cartoons and family ties and a bunch of other stuff. And we had half conversation. You've been on my show a few times, and you let me come on your show as well. You've just been so nice. So I have a few things for you. Okay. So first of all, I have this really killer study Bible.
Awesome.
It's a Quest study Bible. Everybody out there knows how much my faith is important to me. And whether you read it or not, whether you believe it or not, I still want you to have it because I care greatly about it.
Well, let's be clear. I believe in the Bible.
Okay. All right. Good.
So thank you very much, Ian.
And then this is this is not a Christmas gift, but I only had a Christmas wrapping paper.
I'm covering Ian up in here, but what the heck?
I only had Christmas wrapping paper. Okay. Now this is what I said this on a show. I said, remember there was a situation at a store when I went in to ask for merchandise, This is what we were talking about here.
Holy cow. Well, Ethan, I know the spot for this.
I thought you had to put it there.
I know the spot for this.
All right, well, maybe it's
Holy cow. Take a look at this, people. Ooh. I don't even, yep, we got a little bit of light here. Anyway, this is super cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I thought it was very cool. I thought you'd like it.
One of my, well, we had this conversation earlier today. Steve and Ian were talking about how much better Marvel is than DC, but they're both so very wrong.
Well, I don't know about Marvel over DC because, I mean, Marvel overall, just because I like the characters better. But as far as DC, as far as the characters are concerned, there's not much better than Batman. So I have to give it to you. I can't make a choice because Batman's in DC and Batman is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, absolutely
all-time favorites.
Yeah, I love Batman, and I am the first to admit that DC's really dropped the ball when it came to the movies, aside from the Dark Knight movies, which I thought were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed some of the other DC movies, but they haven't been able to have that mass appeal that the Marvel movies have over the past decade or so since Disney kind of took over.
Yeah. I have some mixed feelings about Marvel. I like them. I like some of them. Some of it's hit, some of it's a miss for me. So it's a grab bag for each one. I like some. I don't like others in each of the universes.
Yeah. So let's talk about your channel a little bit.
All right. Let's talk about it.
There it is. Retro Serial. What's going on?
Well, just plugging away. I'm trying to get back to where I was a while back, and that is doing 3 videos a week. And the channel really revolves around growing up Gen X. And on that channel, I talk about movies, music, television, and culture related to 70s, 80s, 90s, mostly, a little before and a little after. I do 3 kinds of videos over on the channel. I do more of your YouTube friendly videos, which are, like anywhere between 3 to 12 minutes long. The 5 things you didn't know videos that everybody knows out there. But I do other videos too, like 3 traits of alternative rock, 3 traits of heavy metal, things like that. And then I do 2 other kinds of videos. I do videos that are podcasts on a subject, like crushes you can see up there. And then, so those are more podcasts. Those go out on all podcast platforms. So if you're a podcast listener, listen to that. And then I do a live stream. And generally, whatever the content of the podcast is the content of the live stream, so that people can listen to that. And then we take audience questions. I try to have the same guest on. I try to have the same topic. And so I just released the one with celebrity crushes. And so that's what we're going to be talking about this Monday. Is
do you have a special guest, or is it just you and Thrash?
Just me and Thrash for now, but if whoever wants to join is welcome to join.
Awesome.
If anybody wants to contact me and say, hey, I'd like to talk about that.
Well, I would recommend maybe everybody watch the video that you and Thrash have published, that you've published with you and Thrash. Mm-hmm. And then if it feels like there's something that they want to add, that's one thing that's wonderful about that live stream afterwards. I've seen people comment on that live stream, hey, didn't you just do a video about this? But the live stream is their opportunity to contribute to the conversation.
And ask questions and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's awesome. I love the way you pair those 2 up. Yeah.
And then I did a video too on sequels that we loved and why. And I had Justin from Braidwoodian and I had Derek from Flickstacks and Knickknacks.
Has that been published yet? I haven't seen that.
No, that's the one I'm having trouble with. That's why I published this one. So I'm going to try to get that off of my computer and be able to upload to YouTube here next week. But within a week, I'm going to have it out. I mean, by hook or by crook.
Okay.
It'll be out. And then, sequels that we loved and why. Because most people dog on sequels. We're going to talk about the sequels we actually liked. So
awesome. One other video that I got to point out is the 5 things you didn't know about Cheers. I love that you still do the short form content as well.
And that I just changed the thing on the thumbnail on that because you helped me do this one today. Yeah. You were showing me how to make those thumbnails hopefully drive more views to my site, more clicks. And that's what we want to do here too. We want people to subscribe.
We absolutely do. As a matter of fact, is it wrong of me to just ask folks to type in right now? Just type in retro cereal, like I have done up here at the top of the YouTube box, and go on over there and just subscribe. Quickly subscribe, then hit the back button. Come on back for the rest of the live stream. But boy, if we could get a handful of subscribers, help get Ian if he could get 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 or 15 or 20 new subscribers, right? Wouldn't that make our night?
It would make my night. I'd be elated.
Think about the power that you all wield in your hand. And I know many of you are already subscribers to the channel. So, it may not happen, but I'm going to refresh and see if we can't at least get Ian to 540 here. Let's see. I'm trying to refresh the static screen, the wrong screen. Let's see what happens here.
Let's see here.
537. 542. Holy cow.
Yay. Wow.
That is insane.
Away by my expectation. Thank you very much. Anyway, you want to keep it going? You keep it going. I'd love to have that number go up. We've been talking YouTube business today a little bit too. And, I'd love to get to that 1,000 mark to start making some money off of YouTube. And it would be great. And plus the 4,000 hours. And I'm about halfway on each one. So there's playlists on there. Just let them play. Pick up one of your devices and just push the playlist and just let it play through.
You know what I do? I typically listen to this stuff while I go to sleep.
Yeah,
because it works as all of them, even if they're videos, they work as a podcast.
Yes, right.
And like you were telling me earlier today, a lot of your stuff early on was just designed to be podcast.
Right.
That was kind of the goal, the plan.
Right. And
I think it works very well that way. And so
those shorter videos were more of an afterthought. I thought, well, okay, I will do YouTube. I started with a shorter video. My first one was just it was supposed to be like a behind the scenes kind of a thing. I was like an extra for people who like the podcast, but then quickly the YouTube channel started getting more views than the podcast. So I put a lot of my effort into there, and I'm there. I want to please the fans, basically. I want to please the fans. So thank you so much, and continue to subscribe throughout the night. Open up another page.
Yeah, if I could just get one more subscriber. I'm one of those guys that likes to have everything like lined up perfectly. On a table, they need to be at 90 degrees, 180 degree angles, and to me, it feels wrong to leave this at 544. If I could have it at 545, it would just make all the difference. I would be able to kind of move on with this. Well, if it got off again from 545 and I saw it, that would be a problem.
All right, well, let's not. Yeah,
let me just take a peek. Let's see if we can.
But I don't want anybody to not subscribe because it might be at 546 or something like that. Don't worry about that.
551. Okay.
Oh my
I'm going to just ignore it.
I'm
just going to ignore it. Oh, and yes, we are giving away a copy later on tonight of Retro Fan Magazine. So please hold tight, folks. I'm going to stop sharing this screen though and take Retro Fan off there. Okay. We'll get to that a little bit later, but we do have a topic. 551.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Thank you, everyone. That was phenomenal. Thank you so much. I'm tempted to play Welk again, but I know it's a problem, but we do have another super chat I have to get to and address. And I'm going to read the comment here. It's from Biznicio, super fan of the channel, by the way. It says, I guess it's good freebie. You want to read that for me, Ian?
I guess it's good Freevee took Perry Mason off their service today. Able to watch and sub to new channel. Good luck. I'll check out your videos. So that's like when I read, I feel like when have you ever done something like for the first time and you're wondering if you do it right?
You did it right.
That's how I am every time I read. I'm like, am I doing this? Is this what reading is? Is this reading? Okay. All right. I think I got it down now.
We'll get back to that super chat in just a second. But I'm trying the antivirals as well. And I recognize that I'm not quite as ill as you are, Pat, but man, getting rid of this cough has been a nightmare for me. But back to Biznicio. Thank you very much for that. I got to find a special video way to say thank you to you as well. You know, I don't think I've played this one in quite a while. Another 70s show that, you know, played well into the 80s, but it definitely was a 70s show. But here is a genuine 80s show.
Okay.
Really, some people are simply too much.
Thank you so much, Biznicio. Truly appreciated. All right. So, topic at hand tonight is favorite 80s shows. I know you have a couple that you're going to share, and I do as well.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, I have a quick video that we'll play. This is what Rolling Stone, they did a poll. Rolling Stone magazine did a poll, and they asked their viewers to identify their favorite 80s shows that debuted in the 80s.
Okay.
So let's see it. We'll watch the video and then we'll talk about whether you agree with them or not. There's some I actually kind of disagree with here, but you know, it's a survey. How do you argue with a survey? But here we go. So what are the best TV shows from the 80s? You know, I have my favorites, but Rolling Stone magazine a few years back, this looks like it was 7 years ago, they did a readers poll and they asked what were your favorite television shows from the 80s. And here are the results from that poll. Coming in the 10th spot is Night Court. And you know what? I can't disagree with this one at all. I loved Night Court growing up, and it changed a lot over the seasons. They point out that at the beginning, Ellen Foley, who was a backup singer for Meat Loaf, was actually one of the stars. She played Billy Young on the TV show. But later on, of course, she left the show and we got Marky Post. What a wonderful combination of actors. You know, just that entire cast was ensemble comedy at its very, very best. Moving on to number 9, we have Moonlighting. Here's what I remember about Moonlighting. Of course, it was extremely popular and starred Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. But what I remember more than anything else is the tumult and chaos and arguments that occurred on set, and it didn't appear that Bruce and Sybil got along very well, and as a result, the show did end up declining in popularity by the end of the decade. Number 8, Family Ties. One of my favorite shows from the 80s for sure. I think more than anything else, the thing I remember about Family Ties is that this was the show that Michael J. Fox was on when he just broke out and became a mega movie star. Number 7 is the A-Team. Talk about another breakout movie star from the 80s. Mr. T was everywhere. He wasn't just a movie star. He had, of course, the A-Team, but he also had a Saturday morning children's show. Just a wonderful, wonderful person from what I understand in real life. And the A-Team was a fun show where a lot of mayhem ensued, but not a lot of people were killed. And I actually appreciated that. All right, moving on to number 6. Let's see what we got here. We got Alf. The thing that I remember about Alf was when it was canceled, there was no ending to it. And then they did a television movie that was just absolutely horrible and hopefully is not canon. And I'd like to see them bring Alf back someday and actually give that show a proper send-off. For a very brief period of time, Alf was extremely popular. And as such, the readers of Rolling Stone rated it amongst their top 10 television shows from the 80s. Let's move on to number 5. These are the top 5 shows from the decade. Number 5 is The Wonder Years. I certainly don't disagree with that. I thought that was a wonderful show. You know, it's one of those things that played on the nostalgia of the viewers back in the 80s for the late 60s and then moving into the early 70s. Number 4, Married with Children. This was a program that came in 87, so the tail end of the decade. Really was kind of groundbreaking in the way that it portrayed the Bundy family. It was one of those things where at first glance, and Rolling Stone mentions it here, it says that Al and Peg could barely stand each other, but there was a certain sense of love that this family had for each other. At the end of the day, they could be very critical of each other, but they didn't take a lot of guff from others when it came to people being critical of their family. Number 3, Hill Street Blues, a show that I watched quite a bit of during the early 80s. Thought it was a well-done drama, and I really liked the cast. Number 2, Miami Vice. I didn't watch as much of that as I probably would have liked to have. You know what? I think it's kind of dated at this point, but we've got Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas. This show made stars out of both of them, and what I remember from Miami Vice was the soundtrack. They incorporated a lot of MTV-style edits. Visually, it was extremely appealing. Number 1, Cheers. Who's going to argue with that? A show that had an incredible 11-season run, as they point out here. So many wonderful characters that you ended up with a spin-off that was as popular, in my mind, as Cheers in Frasier. As time went on and we lost Coach, and we eventually lost Diane, they brought in other actors to play characters that were equally appealing and just as wonderful of any show during the decade of the 80s. I certainly don't disagree with the readers of Rolling Stone when they rank this television program as the top program. All right. So, what do you think of that list?
Agreed mostly. I mean, I don't think that it's really wrong. The only one I kind of didn't care for a whole lot on there was the Wonder Years. When it first came out, I liked it, but it got pretty draggy pretty quickly. The inconsistency, because the show was so issue driven.
Yeah.
Every episode had new characters that you didn't follow. It was just like, oh, this person's on here this time for this issue, and then, and every episode was that.
Have you watched the reboot at all?
No.
Even more so.
All right.
Which is too bad. I actually loved the Wonder Years, but both shows, the reboot and the original version, succeed best when they focus on nostalgia and try to shy away from making any sort of political statement one way or another.
I know all of them were that way. I mean, and I've talked about this before. It's just kind of almost what my channel was originally built on, a cornerstone, but that one seemed to be a little bit over the top for me, and it doesn't date well for me when I watch it in reruns. I wish Punky Brewster would have been on. I know that was a little bit, but I really like Punky Brewster. I probably would have swapped those two out for sure.
Okay. I of that list, I probably the ones that resonated the most with me and that I enjoyed the most were Cheers and Knight Rider. And was Knight Rider on that list?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Was it? I don't know. It should have been if it wasn't. But Cheers and Family Ties.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those two were Cheers, Family Ties, Night Court, and
Night Court was on that. Yeah, I would have included that one.
And that was, I mean, I have to say that was my Thursday night. Cosby, Family Ties, Cheers, and Night Court, and that was Thursday night for me. Loved it, and then probably out of all of those, at the time, Family Ties was my favorite. Probably Cheers is a little. I mean, looking back now, Cheers would be probably as an adult better, as an adult. But as a kid watching those shows in the 80s, Family Ties was really where I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Michael P. Keaton was just old enough to look up to.
Yeah. Alex P.
Keaton. Michael. Yes.
Or Michael Keaton, our future Batman. Okay.
Right.
All right, so let's see what you guys were saying. In the chat, I managed to catch a few of these comments. Our buddy Barry King from BK on the Air says, I love the short-lived Bring 'Em Back Alive on CBS. Do you remember that one?
Mm-mm.
The Adventures of Frank Buck.
I don't remember it at
Great,
all.
intrepid explorer. Chrominion says Magnum PI, A-Team, Alf, Airwolf, Star Trek The Next Generation, just barely, but yes. And Quantum Leap, yeah, another barely 80s, but it counts. Absolutely. Superfan Mike D said, I like the early 80s era of Facts of Life, Family Ties, Night Court. Stardust Memory says The Wonder Years. Tom, the Hungry Jerk, says Magnum PI. Superfan Mike and Kathy says Cheers was great. Superfan Superplex says Police Squad.
Was
Mike
that
and
80s?
Kathy, yeah, I believe Police Squad was the
Wow,
80s. Yeah,
okay. I know that the movies were.
right. Yeah,
80s.
yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
the
I'm pretty
movies.
sure it was the 80s. Mike and Kathy says Night Court. Mr. Led says Love the Vice.
Yeah, I love the Vice too. Vice was really good.
Yeah,
Very 80s.
very
80s.
very
and purposely so.
And that the creator of Miami Vice was Michael Mann, who went on to do some great motion pictures using a similar style, but not so much trapped in the 80s. So it definitely some talented people involved with the show. John Doe's giving some animated shows some love. He-Man, Ghostbusters, Brave Star, Thundercats.
All good stuff.
Super fan Dominic D says Moonlighting was a great show, a hipper version of Remington Steele. I gotta say, I think I like Remington Steele better than Moonlighting. Yeah,
I liked them both. I really did like both of those shows quite a bit.
Adrian James says Automan, Street Hawk, Airwolf, Knight Rider, great stuff.
I don't know. I don't know. Automan or Street, was that the?
Automan was kind of like a Tron. It was a Gary Larson show where this guy,
yeah, I remember now,
was part computer, part car kind of thing. I only saw a handful of episodes. It was Desi Arnaz Jr. was not Automan. That was another actor, but he was the other co-star in the show.
There was a big deal in the 80s about, there were certain shows that really wanted to define themselves away from the 70s.
Yeah.
And it was, this is where like mod music comes from and stuff, and the scooter crowd and things like that. And part of that was really putting themselves into like computer technology and more slick clothes.
Yeah.
And so, shows like what that guy just brought up were shows that were like that, computer driven, more slick. We are not the 70s. We are the 80s shows.
Well, Automan was definitely that. It was very much an 80s show. Gary Carpenter says Heart to Heart, which I had to check. It actually debuted in 79, so it doesn't technically count, but most of the seasons were during the 80s. So we'll give you that, Gary. But I'm not going to give you this. Shame on you for even mentioning it. Now, the first part's okay. But that debuted in 78. But the nerve of you to even mention Galactica 1980. You know better. You and I have talked about this in the past.
No. Oh, no.
Manimal, yes. Crow Minion says the Alf movie was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But that the Alf movie came out in the 90s. But you know what? I was prepared for someone to make that comment. I was prepared.
Okay.
The government couldn't kill him.
I'm going to show you some pictures.
Are they of you?
No.
Good. The network couldn't cancel him.
Tell me what frightens you.
Besides the Fox network? Now, Alf is back. How do you feel about dating outside of your species? In the all-new Grade A film, the government doesn't want you to see. You're jerking my chain. Martin Sheen, Ray Walston, and Miguel Ferrer in Project Alf. Any chance of getting a cappuccino?
There we go. Project Alf. I think it was 1996, somewhere around there. Have you ever seen this movie?
No.
The whole idea is he's captured by the government, and the whole movie, basically, Martin Sheen is hell-bent on killing Alf.
Oh, my God.
He's the whole thing. He's trying to exterminate, destroy Alf. While Alf is kept kind of prisoner, and they do experiments on him and all sorts of stuff. It has actually a pretty good cast, but I think it was a far cry from the situation comedy of the 80s.
The only good thing about it that I've heard is Alf.
Alf is great.
Because he's still
Alf.
that sarcastic puppet, which is funny. Toy Galaxy has a good video on Alf too, where they go through that and they answer the question. I can't remember where they landed, but Gary Larson goes, "Is it canon? Is it canon?" And I think he said that that's not canon.
I would hope it wouldn't be canon.
Yeah,
I would hope so. Let's see. Superfan Superplex says Hunter. That's a great show.
I don't know it. What is that?
Yeah. Fred Dreyer was a hard-boiled cop in L.A. Stephanie, drawing a blank on her last name, but she was great. Was his partner. And yeah, it's a great show. DJ Mexicano de Texas says, I love the Wonder Years. And Gary Carpenter, okay, you are now forgiven for your Galactica 1980 remark for bringing up Square Pegs. Wonderful show.
Square Pegs was awesome.
Yeah. Superfan Dominic D says Wonder Years was good. Adrian James says Soap. WKRP in Cincinnati and Alf. WKRP was it debuted in 78, so not technically an 80s show, but I won't argue that it's wonderful.
What about Soap? Was Soap at 80s?
Oh, man, now you're going to make me look something else up. Soap TV show. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
I thought that was 70s.
Yeah, sharp eye, Ian. 77 for Tom Lemery agrees that Hunter's a good show. And Pat McCormick, super fan, says the Wonder Years was also awesome. Agree with that. And I don't disagree, Gary Carpenter, that V was great.
Yes.
But now if you make a crack about V, the Final Battle being equally awesome, we're going to have some more fighting words. Kenny the Wine Guy says, no Dallas, Magnum PI, or Dynasty. Dynasty might have been the only one of those shows that debuted during the 80s. Let's take a look at that. Dynasty TV show. We'll do a quick check on that. 1981, I think. So that should be mentioned, but clearly not a 1981 to 1989. Clearly, at least with the Rolling Stone magazine reader poll, it didn't show up. Cop Rock, Fred Smithberg. That was 90s anyway, wasn't it? Late 80s, early 90s. I'm not sure. Saint Elsewhere, yes.
Saint Elsewhere. I like Saint Elsewhere quite a bit.
And TJ921 Abel says, didn't watch Miami Vice much.
I watched it so much that in 6th grade, people called me Whitey.
Oh, wow.
Because I wore, well, for the first half of the year, I dressed like Don Johnson, where I tried to wear the white slacks and the white shirt with the plain T-shirt. Oh. TJ9 or BK on the air says TJ Hooker. Can't argue with that. I'm just going to scroll down. I'm going to miss a bunch of folks. Oh, The Charmings. Was that an 80s show? I remember that one. Ravenscroft, 82. Good one. Best of the West. Was that an 80s show? Again, it might have been. Superfan Emily Miller points that one out. Danny Staten says, oh my goodness, the A-Team. Let's see. Scrolling through. Robert Forsyth agrees that Night Court rocked. Danny Hooley says, I got an original network Bosom Buddies broadcast. Wow. An original broadcast. That is awesome. Adrian Zmed would go on to star with Tom Hanks in the movie Bachelor Party. Let's see. What else do we have here? Sledgehammer. Bosom Buddies was one of my favorites.
I enjoyed Bosom Buddies too.
Sledgehammer was ahead of its time.
It sure was.
That's one of those shows that almost like new comedy is based on. Like seriously, really ahead of its time. That show also ripped a lot on Mr. Belvedere. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It was on the same. Yeah, they got in trouble because they were on the same network, and they would always make these little slide comments about Mr. Belvedere. So much so that the executives told the writers not to do that anymore because Mr. Belvedere was also their show.
Awesome. Okay, that makes sense. Did you ever watch Night Flight on USA Network? It was like just a hodgepodge of all sorts of things.
I don't know.
I think that was definitely 80s, mid to late 80s. Pat McCormick says, guys, I'm starting to fade. Part 2, Retro TV Trivia tomorrow with Loretta Swit. What he is talking about is Pat has started a podcast. So you can subscribe to the Retro TV Trivia podcast. You can do it on iTunes in the podcast section. You can do it in Google. Google has a Google search podcast, and you'll find all sorts of places where you can find this podcast. It's wonderful. I totally loved part 1 of Pat's interview with Loretta Swit. They were both so gracious. Pat's a great interviewer. She's super gracious. You got to check it out. Let's see. Superfan Emily Miller talking to Mike Silva, I think, says, Mike, you're weird. I like that in a person. We like that in a person, too. As a matter of fact, we exalt weirdness in this channel. So keep it up, good people. Chrome Minion says, I preferred Street Hawk to Knight Rider. Okay, I can see that. Danny Hooley says, I like Bosom Buddies, as do I. Oh, yes, definitely get well, Pat McCormick. We're rooting for you, buddy. Of course, Star Trek The Next Generation. Mike Silva says he loved Punky Brewster. I would expect that of you, Mike. Thrash Pondo Pond says USA Up All Night, which was either hosted by Rhonda Shear or Gilbert Gottfried, depending on the night. Awesome stuff. Get well, Pat. Benson was a good show as well.
Benson was good. I
Yeah.
was turned on to Benson before Soap, actually.
Spencer for Hire. Yeah, that was an
Spencer
80s
for
show.
Hire.
Another good one.
I like that.
Some Nick at Night show or Nickelodeon shows. Salute Your Shorts. Clarissa Explains It All.
I don't know either of those.
Melissa
Those from
Joan Hart was Clarissa.
Was that from the 80s? I think that was from the 90s.
Now we've got to look.
I think that was from, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Clarissa Explains It All. Let's see the date on this. I think it's late 80s. I want to give Justin credit where credit's due, but you are correct. 91 is when the show debuted. Salute Your Shorts. I don't know about that one, but we'll just keep moving.
Move on.
Thundar the Barbarian, yes.
Yes.
Jim, yes.
Jim, yes.
Remington Steele,
Jim-
Miami Vice.
Jim was one of those fake rock bands that I actually really liked.
Yeah. Let's see. I think. Oh yeah, the Fall Guy. We got to talk about the Fall Guy.
Yeah, the Fall Guy was awesome.
That was a great follow-up to the $6 Million Man with Lee Majors, and Heather Thomas. Thank you.
Heather Thomas.
Yep. I was going to say Lochner, and I knew that was wrong. That was the other.
You wouldn't be
Heather.
the first guy to mess that up.
The other Heather.
Just ask Tommy Lee.
Yeah. Max Headroom, another good
Max
one.
Headroom.
Yep.
Good 80s show.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to stop. We'll end here with square pegs. Here's what we're going to do. Got 80 people here, so this is awesome. Thanks, everybody, for showing up for the live stream tonight. It's been awesome so far. I'm going to handle some, we ought to do.
What we ought to do?
What should we do? I'll
ask one more time for people to subscribe to my channel.
Okay, we can do that.
One more time.
Here, let's do that. We got to bring it back up the screen then if we're going to do that.
All right, sorry.
I got to see if I can get to your screen here. Going to have to you stall them, Ian. Stall.
Well, hey, I love 80s shows. I think 80s shows were great. We could have several conversations. I like personally to group them into two large categories, and that is sitcoms and then drama shows. So we can have our Knight Rider 18 Spencer for Hire discussion, and then we can have our Night Court Family Ties discussion. It's kind of how I break it down. So
555.
All right.
Do you want more than that?
I want as many as well. Look, I don't want to be so self-promoting that I seem greedy or anything like that. But it's not gonna, I put it out there. If another few people want to subscribe, I would love it. I would personally appreciate it immensely. And I ask humbly too. I'm not like asking like, hey, it's right. I want to do the best by the audience as well. I produce shows over there that I think that people who like Dave's stuff like mine, although I do dip into the 90s a little bit more than Dave does.
You do, because you're younger.
Yeah, but that's good. But please subscribe. It would mean the world to me.
So here's the deal. I'm going to make a promise to everyone right now. If you were to right now in your search box, just like I'm doing right here, click right up there and just type in retro series. And then you hit enter. You're going to get this little thing right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even have to click on this right now. Over here, I think it's going to be a red, maybe not. Maybe you do have to click on it. Let's just say you have to click on it.
Mm-hmm.
Click on it. And then right over here, it's going to be red. It's going to say subscribe. And what people want to do, really, they want to do this. You not only hit the subscribe button, but you click on this little guy right here.
Yeah, that'll help.
So you're notified when a new video hits.
Yes.
So that's what you want to do. Let me do one more refresh. We're in an odd situation here with 556. It makes me uneasy, but we'll move on.
We'll move on
in the spirit of time.
Okay.
So we will move on. 556 is good. I like it. And what we'll do is, so thank you everyone. You're good people. We'll go back here. I got I feel like it's almost Christmas already. The holiday season has started early.
Okay.
Because I've got. So I do remember the reason for this season. I've got this.
Okay. Yes.
This is important. And I got that amazing Batman picture frame that you brought down. And I'm going to show that one more time. I'm going to step over here. I'm going to give everybody a full-on view of this thing. This is awesome.
Let's see if the glare is not too bad.
It's not too bad at all.
Oh, look at that.
It's awesome. Thank you so much.
I saw that in the store, and I said, and I was like, I got to give that to Dave. Said I want that immediately.
But I'm saying, like, I don't know. I feel I'm being treated way better than I deserve because I've also got a lovely gift from superfan Danny Staten sent me a package.
Oh, yes.
So without any further ado, let me go to an unboxing that I'd love to share with everyone, and then we'll be right back. We'll do trivia. We'll give away a magazine, a retro copy of Retro Fan magazine, and we'll do all sorts of other fun stuff. We'll be right back. But first, this important video. I've been waiting for this. This is from Danny Staten, my friend in South Carolina, and he has been, well, he's anxious for me to get it as well and open it. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and start working at it. He's been telling me that I need to be really careful with this thing. It's extremely fragile. So let's see what I can do here. Got to be careful as I open it up. Okay. Let's pull it out of the box. Let's see. I believe he said consider this an early Christmas present, so wow. All right. So now it's in some lovely, it does look like a Christmas present, doesn't it? You got to be very, very careful here as I open this guy up. Okay. Oh my goodness. Danny Staten, you have outdone yourself. Look at that. That is Amigo Batman action figure. That is very cool. Now this looks like the reproductions they did a few years back, but very, very cool. I got one of these, the actual Amigo figure. I got one of these when I was probably, maybe 8 or 9 for Christmas. And it was the highlight. I got a lot of great things that year. A lot of things that I'm sure were more expensive, but it was the highlight of my Christmas. And so this is actually a highlight as well. Thank you so much. Let's see what else is in here. Danny said to, well, how can you not love a Frankenstein stuffy? He's going to go right up there with the Beanie Babies. Can you see the Beanie Babies back there? Frankenstein's going right up there. This is the other thing he said to be really careful with. This, I suspect, is the fragile thing. Let's see what I can do here. Be really careful. Open here very carefully. I am opening very carefully, Danny. It looks like it made it, buddy. This is awesome. Did I see a video? I think you did a video with this in it. Ugh. Be so careful. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So, what we've got here, folks, is a genuine Mayberry squad car. That is cool. Right on there it says Sheriff Mayberry. And then there's some little things in here. I'm suspecting that what we might have, I'm going to be very careful with these too, is one, one Barney Fife. Let's see. Turn it that way. Hey, Barn! That is so cool. Let me open up this one. Wow. I don't know what to say, Danny. It's very kind of you. There he is, the man himself, Sheriff Andy Taylor. Very nice. Wow. So, what a nice, thoughtful gift that will be proudly displayed in the Hall of Nostalgia. You see that Don Knotts photo right next to my YouTube 100,000 subscriber plaque. Right down below that, there's a Batmobile right now, but I'm afraid the Batmobile is getting moved. And when you next see the Hall of Nostalgia, you're going to see the squad car down there. Danny Staten, the good news is, it made it safe and sound, as did the little characters. The squad car's in perfect condition. Just so neat. I love it. Thank you for this very thoughtful gift, and really appreciate all of your support. And I would encourage folks, and I'll definitely mention this during the live stream again, but I would encourage folks to check out your channels. There's all sorts. There's the Daily Dan blog. That's how I got to know you. There's Danny Staten, Daily Dan's Good Stuff, the Fat Comic Book Guy, I think it's called. Anyway, lots of great channels out there that you maintain as a way of celebrating and honoring the good stuff. So thanks again, Danny. Truly appreciate it.
Lay back, slip into something tan.
You, the sun.
And copper tone, it's so easy to look so good.
So dark, so dazzling.
Copper tone.
Copper tone is the one. For the tan, for the protection.
Lay back, slip into something tan. Copper tone.
Monday, the Square Pegs kick off Johnny Slash's new career.
Totally.
Then, a comedy special with two sisters living it up in San Francisco.
All are wet.
Yeah, self-cleaning.
She's with me. And on Tucker's Witch, Rick and Amanda stalk a killer who's stalking Amanda. Ted Danson co-stars Monday.
This is CBS.
Pepsi free. Let your taste go free. Pepsi free. You're going caffeine free. The taste is positively Pepsi and it's caffeine free. Positively Pepsi free.
Leave it to Pepsi to make a caffeine-free cola with a taste that's positively Pepsi. Pepsi-free, regular and sugar-free.
The taste is positively Pepsi and it's caffeine free. Positively Pepsi free. Pepsi free.
Every morning I use Listerine antiseptic for me. In the morning, your mouth has millions more bad breath germs than the night before. Listerine kills the germs that can cause morning breath, and it works hours longer than the number 2 mouthwash. At night, I use it a second time for Cindy Lou. It keeps my breath clean a good long time. Listerine, one time for me.
Second time for me.
Listerine, twice a day.
One time for me.
A second time for me.
This isn't just a commercial, this is the plain truth. And I'm not just a spokesperson, I'm a believer. Because this isn't just a snack, it's nacho cheese Doritos. And it's not just nacho cheese, it's 3 kinds of cheese. And it's not just 3 kinds of cheese, it's corn, tomato, onions, and spices. And it's not just corn, tomato, onions, and spices, it's my favorite. And it's not just my favorite, it's the whole country's favorite. Because it's not just a snack, it's Doritos. And this isn't just the end of my Doritos, this is the end of my commercial.
Does look old, doesn't it? That package of Doritos.
It does. I was just saying that.
It's crazy.
I was just saying that I looked at that package and I remember having a package like that, and I remember thinking that's never going to look old,
right? No,
and
yeah,
until you look at it later and like, oh, that's actually looks.
And things now, 20, 25 years from now, are going to look old to whoever's
People
doing
are gonna
live
look at
streaming
our phones and stuff and go, what were they thinking?
That's crazy. Hey, you know what? I did the unboxing at Danny Staten sent those wonderful gifts, and I just need to point out his channel, at least one of his channels. This is my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah.
They're all good, but the Daily Dan blog, over 5,000 subscribers to this channel.
Awesome.
Danny goes on all sorts of adventures searching for Bigfoot. He reviews comic books. This is one I haven't watched yet, and I can't wait to watch it, which is the Bob Hope Halloween special. Love Bob Hope. It's a DC comic book from the 60s. This is going to be a lot of fun, and Danny always has a unique take. And then he's also, in addition to looking for Bigfoot, he covers like Bigfoot movies, all sorts of things. So great channel. If you're into that kind of stuff, Danny has his own unique way of celebrating the good stuff, right? Music, movies, TV shows from decades gone by. So I definitely encourage you to check it out. And thanks again, Danny. Truly appreciated. All right, it is time. Let's give away that magazine. What are we doing? We're giving away a copy of the brand new September 2022 issue of Retro Fan magazine. What do you need to do to be able to win the magazine? Well, nothing. You don't need to subscribe to the channel. You don't even have to like this live stream. All you really have to, did I say live stream? Live stream. Or live stream.
We knew what you meant.
That's right. We'll do a live stream near Halloween.
Okay.
But you don't even have to like that. All you have to do is type in hashtag retrofan in the chat. That's right. Not remind. I noticed some hashtag reminds.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed a hashtag. What was the other one? Retro, I think. Mm-hmm. Those will not work. You need to get hashtag retrofan. Now, if you're not in the US, I'm going to have to send you something else if you win. Just a heads up. But if you're in the US, we will send you. I won't send you personally, but the good folks over at Retro Fan Magazine will send you this copy of Retro Fan Magazine, September 2022 edition. My favorite article, I have to say, having read almost all of it now, is the He-Man stuff that Scott Shaw does towards the end of the magazine. But there's also some other really good stuff. I always enjoy their takes on Filmation, the animation studio that did so many cartoons during the 70s. And they do a piece on Zorro in here. The Beach Movies thing, I just read a bunch of articles on that in Remind Magazine, so it felt a little bit redundant. But all in all, this is a really fantastic issue. There's a piece on Wild Wild West. There's an interview with Norman Lear. You're just going to like it. So get your hat. Throw your name in the hat.
Yes.
We've got 30 entries.
I'm jealous of whoever wins right now. Because
right,
I got the Remind, but I haven't got the Retro Fan yet. So
great magazine. And for those folks that don't win that are interested in Retro Fan magazine, I will post a link. Not right now. It's not there right at the moment. But after we're done, I will post a link in the description section of this live stream for folks to go. If you're watching it on the replay, or you can just go back to the live stream afterwards. It'll still be there. And you can click on that and you can subscribe. You get the most recent issue. You can subscribe, whatever, what I would do if it were me, because there's so many amazing issues of Retro Fan magazine. If it were me, I'd go back and find the ones that have like the topics that I like the most. Right. And then I'd probably pick up the digital version. I'm a big fan of reading things digitally as opposed to the paper copies. Because you can blow it up if you struggle with vision the way I do these days.
Right.
You can blow it up and have ginormous fonts as you read the articles. And it's half price if you get the digital edition. And they'll send it to your email box right away. So
it has articles?
It does. It has articles. Amazing articles.
All right. I read it all. I get it only for the articles.
You read it for the He-Man centerfold?
Yes. The pictures. I didn't even know it had articles.
The July 2022 issue had Julie Newmar on the cover. That one was ooh la la. All right, we got 34 entries. I'm going to put the 30-second timer on here. Let's do. Actually, do we have a? I'm going to throw a Batman timer on for,
Okay.
I think it's 30 seconds. Let's see what happens. And then we'll be back and we'll give this away. Folks, put your name in the, it costs you nothing. Do it. All right, folks, we have a little bit of a technical glitch. I'm hoping that all of your entries are still there. They are. Great. Okay. 32 entries is what we have. I'm going to go ahead and click the draw button. Here we go. All right.
Yay.
Music Girl 67.
Yay.
Congratulations. You really should get some like applause sound effects going here
Yeah.
for this. This would be good if I did that. All right. Yeah, we'll give you good work. So here's the deal, Music Girl 67. What I need you to do is send me your address, your name and address to this email address right here. So I'll leave that on the screen for, I don't know. What should I do? Leave it on the screen for 30 seconds. And if you can grab a pen real quick and write that down, send me your name, address. I will make sure I get a copy of Retro Fan Magazine sent to you. If for any reason that you don't get a chance to write down that email address, you can obviously afterwards go back and look up the email address on the replay. Again, for the folks that didn't win that are interested in Retro Fan Magazine, I'll post a link in the description section of the video. But congratulations again, Music Girl 67. Well done. Well done.
Congratulations.
Yep. Let's go ahead and take this off the screen. There we are. And I think we can go ahead and take this off the screen as well. Because, folks, it is trivia time.
Trivia time.
Indeed.
I have to feel really smart or really dumb every time. I'm like, I'm getting none of these, or I'm nailing all of them. I know there's not a lot of in between for me.
But before we do, excuse me, folks, fighting this cough that just won't go away. Before we do that,
yes,
we missed a super chat.
Oh no!
Let's see. Kevin Scott 76 says, "I made your request, Hogan Heroes intro with Johnny Quest audio video request on my YouTube channel. Alternative show openings. There's 70 plus more. I'm gonna have to check that out."
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Kevin Scott 76. Truly appreciated. And I don't know. Have we brought the fembots? Have I played that video in a while? I don't think I have. Let's do that.
I have created the ultimate weapon to defeat Austin Powers. Bring in the fembots!
Thanks again, Kevin Scott 76. Truly appreciated. Fred Smithberg says, "I thought you meant the John Houseman made fembots." Those fembots scared the bejesus out of me. Those are the ones that were on the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman. And they would look like, the fembots on Austin Powers, You know, they look like Nancy Sinatra,
right?
With those boots that are made for walking. But the fembots you just didn't know who was real and who wasn't real. They were these, these androids that looked just like. Well, there was also male androids like this. Maskatron was one of them.
Is that the one where the face falls off?
The face falls off, and you see all the circuitry.
Freaked me out.
Yeah, freaky.
I was freaked out. My grandmother had to pull on her face to show me she wasn't a robot.
Yeah,
true story.
There you go. Good old grandmas.
I was freaked out. I was freaked out about that show. I think I was 4 or something when I watched it, and literally, I thought everybody was a robot.
I don't blame you. Yeah. All right. So, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for bringing back Fred mentioning the fembots, the original fembots from the $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman. Maybe the fembots were only on the Bionic Woman and Maskatron was in $6 Million Man. Things blur. It's been a long time, but good stuff. Yes, Maskatron was played by John Saxon.
Oh,
I don't think his name was really Maskatron on the TV show. It was something else. But the doll that they marketed along with the Bigfoot doll, and I say doll, action figure. The action figure of Maskatron was called Maskatron.
Right.
Okay. All right. It's trivia time. It's time to do trivia. I think we've had all the fun we can have. We've had unboxings, double unboxings tonight, a live unboxing, Danny Staten unboxing. We've watched videos. We've seen some commercials. We've given away a magazine. Let's do trivia. Here we go.
Okay.
Of course, tonight is 80s TV trivia.
Just going to blurt it out.
You're not. You're going to hold your horses in. Hold your horses until we give folks adequate time to either write it in the chat if they want to do that, or just kind of lock it in their noggin. So we'll give folks about 30 seconds for each question or so. Question number 1, but I will give you first chance to answer.
Okay, well, it's hard because I can see the comments. I'll try not to look at them.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm
on here, I turn off the comments.
I'm hiding the comments. Boom.
Okay. All right.
And don't look over there. Just look this way. Okay, we have multiple screens going with everything, so Ian's going to have to just be strong.
Okay.
And I'm going to stop this. And here we go. Question number 1. Family Ties question. On Family Ties, what famous actor played Elisa's brother Ned? Was it Brad Pitt, Jim Belushi, Tom Cruise, or was it Tom Hanks? And I'm going to throw a 30-second timer on here.
All right.
So
there's really no need. I already know.
Oh, I know you know the answer. People need time.
I know.
They need time.
No Googling.
Oh yeah, no Googling. You just have to just know this. So, and if you don't know it, you guess.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Throw your guess in the chat. That will throw people off if you're wrong. You know, the worst thing that can happen is if everybody says the same exact thing in the chat, because then it's like, then what's the skill in that? All right. There we go. Snoopy says, good. Let's go. Come on. Let's move, people. Let's do this. All right. And the answer is
Tom Hanks.
You think it's Tom Hanks?
I know it's Tom
Hanks. You call yourself a Family Ties fan. And yet you say Tom Hanks.
I don't know anything if I don't know this.
Tom Hanks is a correct answer. Well done.
He was on twice.
Yeah. Ian is now 1 for 1.
1 for 1.
All right. And I see a super chat from Danny Staten. We will get to it as soon as we're done with the trivia. So let me get out of there because I'm trying to cover the comments so that Ian doesn't look, because we got to keep this fair for Ian. I can't play really because I made the trivia.
Yeah, you made it up.
I know the answers, right?
Right.
But Ian can still play, so let's let him do that, and let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
Question number 2. On Knight Rider, this might be a little more difficult for you because I don't know if you were a consistent Knight Rider viewer. What are the names of Kit's mechanics? April and May. That would be interesting. April and Bonnie. May and June. Or Bonnie and Amy. Don't say anything. Let's throw the timer on here. Let's give folks a little bit of time. The answers, the potential answers are April and May, April and Bonnie, May and June, or Bonnie and Amy. So I know there are some Mega Knight Rider fans that are saying, oh, so easy. But it's tougher for folks that may not have paid a lot of attention regarding who were the mechanics. All right. You want to give it a guess? Give it a go.
I am. Look, I have no idea, but look. So April and May are months. May and June are months. Bonnie shows up twice, and April shows up once. I'm trying to think behind the.
April shows up twice.
Yeah.
But pointing that out, I might be trying to mislead you.
You might. But I'm going to go April and Bonnie. I could be wrong. My second choice is Elro.
Good job. You don't need to tell us what your second choice is.
Okay.
Excellent work.
That was a little deductive work based on what?
4-2.
Yeah.
Moving on to question number 3, and then we'll look at scores, people.
Okay.
What does the A in A team stand for? Is it action, the action team? Alpha, the alpha team? Amazing, they are an amazing team, or awesome team? All right, don't say anything. We're going to throw the timer on. We'll give folks time to either put it in the chat, lock it in their noggin. Yes, Ravenscroft 82 points out something very important. I'm not going to put the comment on the screen right now because Ian can't be looking at comments. But as I scroll or as I kind of turn my head and look over at another monitor, Ravenscroft 82 says, hey, all of these questions were in other trivia videos, Dave. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
They have all been in prior videos.
Well, we got it. I know.
And I'm clicking on why does that not work? There we go. Let's get rid of the timer. The correct answer is alpha.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to guess alpha.
Okay.
But I can tell you why I was going to guess alpha.
Go for it.
Because that's what I would have named it. Because like the A team, alpha team.
Yeah.
And then plus I would say that's the second one in a row where the second one's been down.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes people like to throw you off by choosing the same.
Sometimes people do that.
And I would have chosen alpha for those reasons.
Okay. All right. Mike Silva's taking off tonight. Have a good one, Mike. Thresh Pondo Pons is 2 of 3. Superfan Emily Miller is 3 of 3. Superfan Superplex 2 of 3. James Dye 3 of 3. Dave Thomas 2 of 3. Superfan Mike D 3 of 3. Superfan Dave Claroni 2 of 3. Nick Mamonis 2 of 3. Todd McCreary, 2 of 3. Karen Lester, 2 of 3. Lamont Bradford, 1 of 3. Rosalia, 2 of 3. Carolyn Harmon, 2 of 3. Crominion, 1 of 3. Superfan Lisa Fields has gotten 4.
She's got 4 out of 3. That's good.
That's, you know what? That's impressive.
That's impressive.
Very well done. Tom Lemery, 3 of 3. Cindy D, 3 for 3. Music Girl, our winner of the Retro Fan magazine tonight, 2 of 3. Superfan Keithy, 2 of 3. Tom, the Hungry Jerk, 2 of 3. Fritz Smithberg, 1 of 3. Kenny the Wine Guy, 1 of 3. David C, 1 of 3. Superfan Lisa Fields corrects herself. It's 3. Oh, darn it. Darn it. Raja 1938, 3 of 3. Wajamin is 3 of 3. Sarita Abney, 2 of 3. Ravenscroft 82, 2 of 3. Gary Carpenter must have missed a question, got 1 of 2. Oh, dear Tracy.
Oh, Tracy.
So, Tracy, are you having
bad.
fun? That's when that happens to me when I'm struggling with a trivia, and that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Not usually on movies and TV shows, but other things like a different kind of quiz, history quiz. I suck at them. I just ask myself, am I having fun?
Or test anxiety.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you tell your teacher. It's like, I failed this test, but man, I had a blast.
It was such a good time.
That's great.
Adrian James, 1 of 3. I think we're good here. I think we got most everything. Todd McArcham, 1 of 3. Superfan Sean Innes, 2 of 3. Alisa says, I meant 3. There it is. I gotcha. Mr. Led can't play tonight. Oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry. There's a huge delay for you. That sucks. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. So let's go on to the next question.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and hide the comments
Hide
again
the
for you,
comments.
Ian, so that you don't get tempted. And we'll move on. Question number 4. On the Golden Girls, which first lady did Rue McClanahan model Blanche's voice after? Was it Barbara Bush, Jackie Kennedy, Pat Nixon, or Rosalind Carter? I'm going to throw the timer on, and then we'll again say,
I don't know, but
who
I have
was
a guess.
this? Okay, hold tight.
I'll hold.
Barbara Bush, Jackie Kennedy, Pat Nixon, or Rosalind Carter? Okay, we'll give folks another 15 seconds. I'm going to try to take the timer off the screen this time without clicking on the answer, because I want to give you a chance to answer, even though this is going to be a tougher one for you. Let's take the timer off the screen. So you're 3 of 3 right now. What's your guess?
It's between Pat Nixon and Rosalind Carter. So I know it's not the top two. I would guess it's not the top two, but if I have to choose one, she did the Southern thing, and I know the Carters were from the South.
Okay.
But I have no idea what Pat Nixon sounded like. And,
I have no idea either, truthfully.
And I know Rosalind Carter was closer to the debut of the show because they, 80s, but closer. But something in my mind is saying Pat Nixon.
So you're gonna go Pat. You're gonna basically ignore all the logic that you just said and go Pat.
There's
Nixon.
something in my gut saying Pat Nixon, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I mean, I totally could be wrong.
All right. Well.
Okay.
I thought when you were like playing it out and deducting, doing all your deductions and everything, that you were gonna like land on Rosalind Carter.
I know I should have. That teaches you to trust your gut. Your gut's not always right.
It isn't always right, but here's the deal. I've learned from a lifetime of testing. Go with your first, whatever your first.
My first instinct was Pat Nixon.
Well, then you had to go with it.
I had to go with it. Because there's something in my gut saying it, but obviously my gut was incorrect.
Yep. Because sometimes you can rethink a question. More times than not, I think when you rethink a question, you get it wrong.
Okay.
We're just question 5.
All right.
Let's move on. On to the greatest American hero. What government agency did Bill Maxwell work for?
Oh, gosh.
Was it the ATF, the CIA, the FBI, or NASA? Get your answers in the chat or lock them in your noggins, people, because you have a little bit less than 30 seconds to answer. Figure out which one it is. Did Bill Maxwell work for the ATF, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, or NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration? You see, I know my acronyms.
Yeah, you do. I didn't know that NASA stood for that. I knew the other ones, but I didn't know that one.
Oh, we've gone well past our 30 seconds. So, what's your answer?
Gosh, FBI. I don't know. It's between the FBI and the CIA. FBI. All right.
There you go. You're 4 for 5.
4 for 5.
Pretty impressive.
That's and I should have gone for that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I had all the reasons.
You had all the reasons in the world to be 5 for 5 right now, but so we'll do one more and then we'll get scores from everybody. Question 6. What was the name of the inn that Dick and Joanna owned on Nightheart? Or Newhart.
Newhart.
Was it the Concord Inn, the Lakeside Lodge, the Stratford Inn, or Town and Country? All right, let's throw the timer on. We'll give Ian 30 seconds to muddle about and think this through, and everybody else as well. Put your answer in the chat or lock it in your noggin. Either way is fine with me. Again, your choices are the Concord Inn, the Lakeside Lodge, the Stratford Inn, or the Regal Town and Country. Lodge. Well,
What did
the
you
lodge
say?
at the
Did
end.
you say the Regal?
The Regal Town and Country
You
Lodge.
said the
I'm just adding crap in there. Try and get you to spite on that one.
Well, was that like?
I don't know. It's not like the Regal Beagle. Times we've already done
we've
it.
already
30
been past
seconds.
it.
All right. What do you think it is?
I don't know. I have no idea. I wasn't. I didn't really watch the show that much, but I'm just gonna go with Lakeside Lodge.
Lakeside Lodge.
Yeah.
Okay. The
Stratford
Inn.
Oh well.
Okay. I
All
should have maybe asked a question about the Larry, and Daryl, or
Yeah,
that
that's
would
all
be-
right
yeah.
though.
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't remember
So 4 for 6 so far for Ian. Let's see what other folks' scores are.
Let's see how other people are beating me.
Okay, tell me how you're doing, folks. We got
5 for
super fan
6.
Emily Miller, who is rocking it
I
tonight.
know.
5 for 6. Chrominions 3 for 6. Fred Smithberg said, "This is my other brother Daryl, Larry, Daryl, and Daryl." Is it Larry,
Right.
Daryl, and Daryl? Yeah, Larry, Daryl, and Daryl. Did I say that Superfan Superplex was 4 for 6? Todd McCurry 4 for 6. Superfan Dave Claroni rocking it tonight, 5 for 6. Carolyn Harmon's 4 of 6. Mike and Kathy's 4 of 6. James Dye 5 of 6. Karen Lester 4 of 6. Dave Thomas 3 of 6. David C 4 of 6. Superfan Keith E 4 of 6. Superfan Mike D 5 of 6. Watch Amin 5 of 6. Superfan Rosalia Zarita. I threw the superfan on there. You're super. You're all super people. 2 of 6. Cindy D 5 4 6. Fred Smithberg thinks he's 3 of 6. Superfan Sean Innes 4 of 6. Lamont Bradford 3 of 6. Music Girl 4 of 6. That's okay. I would. Yeah, that's a fine score. Raja 1938 is showing us that you can do better,
Yes,
though.
I
Ian,
know.
6 of 6, and
There have been
well
some
done.
that I've aced.
Well done. Superfan Lisa Fields 5 of 6. Tom Lemery's rocking it tonight as well. With 6
Awesome.
of 6. Nick Mamonis 4 of 6. Superfan Tracy Roth Myers 2 of 6. Tom McCluskey, aka the Hungry Jerk 5 of 6. Gary Carpenter's got 3 of the 3 he answered, so he got all 3. Spaceman Dudley 0 for 6, but he's batting 100. I love that.
He's
That's
shooting them in.
awesome. Ravenscroft 82 4 of 6. Kenny the Wine Guy 3 of 6. Rita Abney 4 of 6. Let's see. I think we're good here. Justin just arrived and he's 1 for 1. Nicely done. And time to move on. So again, we will take that off the screen so that Ian's not tempted. We're going to work our way through the last 4 questions, and then we'll get final scores from everybody. Question 7. All right. The final episode of this beloved NBC sitcom aired on May 14th, 1989, with an audience of over 36 million. Let me put my finger to my mouth. Million people. Okay. Was this show Cheers, Cosby, Family Ties, or Seinfeld? Okay. Timer's on. What I need is some like Jeopardy music. That would be awesome right now. Just play a little Jeopardy music while we do this. But then the copyright police might get after me, and I hate that when that happens. Final episode aired on May 14th, 1989. Beloved NBC sitcom, 36 million people. Was it Cheers, Cosby, Family Ties, or Seinfeld? You got to think about, did Seinfeld end in the 80s? I think you can do some. I think you can do some process of
Cheers
elimination
ended
here.
in like 93.
So you can do some process of elimination.
So it's between Cosby and Family Ties. I'm going to say Family Ties.
Okay.
But I don't feel it though.
You're not feeling it.
I'm not.
Is that your gut though?
It's neither one.
You have no gut.
I have no. I know it's between Cosby and Family Ties,
And you're going
I'm
Family
just going to go
Ties.
Family Ties. I don't remember. Yay! Got it.
Nicely done.
Nicely. I remember it was. I
Nicely
couldn't
done.
remember. I couldn't remember if that ended in 89 or 90. So that's why I was vacillating, and I have no idea when the Cosbys ended.
On the Facts of Life.
Okay.
What famous actress was canned, was dropped as a series regular after the show's very first season? There were actually multiple actresses that were canned.
Yeah, there were.
Because they felt like the cast was too big and they wanted to pare it down to just like a core group of girls. All right, timers in place. Where your choices are Ali Sheedy, Demi Moore, Molly Ringwald, or Winona Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
So who was it? Was it Ali Sheedy that was dropped? Demi Moore? Is it Demi or Demi?
I don't know.
Demi. I'm going to go
She didn't
Demi
tell
Moore.
me.
But it might be Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. I always say Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
Demi.
Or is it Molly? Molly Ringwald or Winona Ryder? Or Winona Judd?
It's not one of the choices.
Oh, then it's not that one.
It's Molly Ringwald.
Dun, dun, dun. Nicely done. Nicely done. What does that put you at? That was the question number 8, right?
So I missed 2 so
6
far.
of 8 so far. Question 9. Oh, we're going to do a little science fiction here. This is for Emily Miller. And Emily, we did have this question when we talked about V a few weeks back. On V, main character Mike Donovan, he's the hero of the miniseries and the show. He sneaks on board the mothership and discovers something incredible about the visitors. What is it? Is it that they really are friendly people? Or is it that they're holographs? Or that they are reptiles? Or is it that they eat reptiles? Okay, those are your choices. Timer's up. 30 seconds again. Mike Donovan on this show called V, which I loved. I loved the original miniseries. He sneaks on board the mothership and he discovers that they're friendly, that they're actually not even there, that they're holographs, that they are reptiles, or he was just grossed out as he watched one consume and devour a reptile. What was it? Taking the timer off the screen, Ian, it is now your turn to deliver an answer.
They are reptiles.
They are.
And she eats like a hamster or something.
Yeah, she eats a rodent of some sort. Yep.
Some
They
rodent.
are reptiles indeed.
Yeah.
They're after water
Yeah.
and humans.
Yeah.
It's what they want. It's what they've come here for.
I saw the final episode of that. I think
the final battle, I don't think you missed out. Oh, you mean the final episode of the actual original miniseries? Or you need to go back and watch
I believe
that.
I got grounded, and then everyone was talking about it the next day, and I did not get to see it.
That's a bummer. It's on Tubi, I think.
I got to go back and watch the whole thing.
Question 10. Here we go.
Okay.
Which of these TV shows did not make its debut, did not premiere during the 80s? Was it Airwolf, Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider, or Magnum PI? Timer is actually counting down now. We've got a little bit under 30 seconds for you to kind of think through this. And everybody that's participating at home, thank you so much for joining us for this live stream event tonight. It's been phenomenal. 2 weeks from now, Pat McCormick, the golden age of television, will be joining me for another live stream on this channel where we will talk about Ronnie and Clint Howard, 2 fine young men who have grown up in the entertainment industry. And both of them continue to make an impact on that industry.
You got to talk about Arrested Development.
Yes, for sure.
Because, Ron Howard narrated it, and Clint was
made an
on
appearance.
it.
Yep. All right.
Okay. So
enough stalling.
Yes.
Ian.
No, I know this one. This
Okay.
is Dukes of Hazzard, one of my favorite shows. I remember I got in trouble in first grade because I slid across the floor and my teacher said I was crawling. My grandmother made me crawl on my hands and knees for an hour as punishment. And that was back when I was still living in California.
This was the same grandma that showed you that she wasn't a fembot?
Showed me she was, yes, she did that. I thought, yeah.
And then, she pulls that kind of fembot stunt on
Well,
you.
apparently I made my teachers upset because you know how they slide across the hood?
Yeah.
I was trying to replicate that, but sliding across the floor. But they that somehow that got into their brains that I was trying to crawl like a baby. So my grandmother made me do nothing but crawl on the ground for an hour, which felt like an eternity. I had no concept of what an hour was, by the way.
Yeah,
that I was 6 years old.
It's cruel and unusual punishment. All right. Here are final scores. We're going to go through as many of them as I can here. Cro-Minion got 6 of 10. Good job. Superfan Mike D demonstrated his prowess this evening, 8 of 10. Superfan Emily Miller, 7 of 10. Superfan Superplex, 6 of 10. Todd McCreary, 6 of 10. Ravenscroft, 82, 8 of 10. Final score. Nick Mamonis, 8 of 10. Mike and Kathy, 7 of 10. Todd McEarchim, 4 of 10. Dave Thomas, 6 of 10. Rachel in the 208, 10 of 10. Congratulations, Rachel. That's a phenomenal score. James Dye, 8 of 10. Lamont Bradford, 6 of 10. Rosalia, nice comeback, 5 of 10. Good job. Let's see. Kenny the Wine Guy, 5 of 10 as well. Thank you for playing, Kenny. And thank you for that super chat earlier. Truly appreciate it. Let's see. Superfan Sean Innes, 7 of 10. Music Girl 67, 6 of 10. Raja 1938, 9 of 10. Superfan Lisa Fields, 9 of 10. Boy, folks did really good tonight. 8 of 10 for Tom. Should have been 9. He feels like somehow we robbed him of one question.
No.
I'd say if you say it should have been 9, you just say it's 9 of 10. Right? It's an honor system. If you feel like you somehow got robbed, just say 9 of 10.
Well, mine should have been 9 of 10.
Yeah, you should have.
I should have gotten
been.
that one.
Yeah, it should have been. Superfan ENC, 8 of 10.
8 of 10.
Should have been 9.
Should have been 9.
We might as well
I
say
should have
it
listened to my reason instead of my gut.
Yeah, your deductive skills are impressive. Cindy D, 8 for 10. Do we have any more scores here? Let's see. Tom Lemery, 10 for 10 if the Cosby Show ended in 89. So I'm guessing that means he was 9 of 10 because he probably guessed that on the series finale question.
Oh.
Probably guessed the Cosby Show. Sarita Abney, 7 of 10. Gary Carpenter, 3 of 5. Superfan Dave Claroni, 8 of 10. Good job. Superfan Keith E, 6 of 10. Nicely done. Can you ever watch too much TV? I don't know. That feels like a incorrect comment. I might actually have to dock you a point, Rachel, in the 208. You are now. I'll only dock half point for that comment because it's just wrong. It's wrong, and so now you are 9.5 out of 10 because you said you watched too much TV. You did not. That was an incorrect answer. Of course, maybe that would have been a bonus point if you answered.
Could have been.
That could have been. Either way, don't feel bad about watching television. I think Ian and I can attest to the fact that it was a marvelous babysitter for us growing up, and we loved it.
For sure.
Loved it. You know what? I got to say welcome to a brand new member of the channel. I'm going to say welcome and so long to Kenny because I'm actually transitioning memberships over to Patreon at the end of the month.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But thank you so much for joining, and I hope you enjoy the channel membership for the next 2-3 weeks, and then I will definitely provide you with instructions. Same cost, same features, just over on Patreon.
Come over to Patreon.
Come on over to Patreon. But thank you so much. That support really is appreciated, Kenny. And also, we had another super chat earlier from Danny Staten.
Right, yeah.
Danny said, wait till you see what's in the next box. This guy, he is insane in a good way. He keeps sending me these wonderful boxes full of nostalgic goodness, and I'm forever in his debt. But thanks so much, and I truly appreciate your donations to the Hall of Nostalgia, Danny. So I've got a couple. I got to say thank you to a couple folks. I got to say thank you to Kenny, the Wine Guy. So I'm going to go with Ed Grimley. I don't know if Kenny is an Ed Grimley fan.
Thank you very much.
Yes, but this is for. Let me go back to here. I don't know if I can go find that. Where is it? There it is. Let's put because this is for Kenny. Right here. Little Ed Grimley action. 3, 2, 1. Thanks for your support, Kenny. Truly appreciate it. And going back to Danny, wait till you see what's in the next box. We're going to go with someone who always says, surprise, surprise. Because that's what every box is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And thank you, Danny. Your support is truly appreciated. So, marvelous evening of conversation.
Excellent.
Loved it. 80s television, one of my favorite decades for TV. But, you know, I think back in the 60s and 70s, I have so many fond memories of those. We'll have to do a live stream in the future of those decades as well.
Yes.
But thank you so much for everyone tonight for joining us. Now, here's the deal. The party doesn't have to end now. Our buddy, Thrash Pondo Ponds, is going to be starting his after party live stream as soon as this one ends. And so what you need to do, I'll go ahead and post in the chat. Actually, I'll post in the chat. Let me see if I can bring that up right now. Let's see. Google Notes. Pull up. I'm going to pull up Thrash Pondo's. I'm going to pull up his YouTube channel. Let's do that. And then I'm going to see if we can pin this up top. Nope, I got to do that over here. I'm going to reach over here. I'm pinning that message to the very top. So head on over and hang out with. We love Thrash Pondo, right?
Yeah, it's my co-host over my channel.
Thrash
He
Pondo
helps me with my with the reading that I'm so good at.
Yeah, and not only is he a good reader, he's a dang good reader.
Oh yeah.
He's a dang good reader.
Yeah.
But he also knows a lot about a
tons.
lot of stuff.
Yes, he does tons.
He knows a lot. And so if you want to just free form, kind of just talk, train of thought, nostalgic entertainment, he's the man. He's the right way to wind down this live stream. So I'd love to see, we got 53 people.
Those party animals who don't want to stop after the party's over, and they're like, let's do it.
Right. Let's talk for another 2 hours.
Yeah. And
Thrash Pondo is here for you.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So the link is at the top of the chat. So with that, Ian, again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
This
joining
has been
me
a
tonight.
blast.
I'm
This
glad
has
you
been a
had a good
blast.
time. I certainly have. It's been a lot of fun having you here with us tonight. And of course, we'll do this virtually as well in the future.
Yeah.
Again, a reminder for folks that Pat McCormick will be joining me in 2 weeks on this channel on my next live stream, where we'll be talking about Ronnie and Clint Howard. But to all of you, you're just all so awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight for this live stream. I hope you have a great week, and we're not too far away from the weekend, so great weekend as well. Thank you for being the wonderful people that you are. Thank you for being the kind, compassionate, generous souls that really make this community one of the top communities in YouTube.
Yeah.
I really believe that. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.